Okay, now we're in problem set 2. And the first problem in problem set 2 is a word problem. And it says the sum of three consecutive integers is 45. What are they? So this problem is really sort of an exercise in translating all of these words into math. What does consecutive mean? What does integer mean? And what does sum mean? If we can answer all of that, we can translate the conditions of the problem into an expression. We can set that expression equal to 45, and perhaps that will help us in finding those integers. So an integer is just a positive or negative whole number, or possibly zero. In other words, an integer is one of the numbers, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Very natural set of numbers that we use to solve a lot of different kinds of equations. Okay? So those are the integers. So we're looking for consecutive integers that sum up to the number 45. Consecutive means next to each other. Like 5, 6, and 7. Those are consecutive integers. They do not sum to 45, however. Another set of consecutive integers is -2, -1, 0. Those are consecutive integers. However, those also do not sum to 45. So how do we find the three consecutive integers that sum to 45? Okay, well, if we identify our first integer, if we give it a name, let's say it's x, let x stand for the first integer in that consecutive triplet, then the second integer will just be x plus 1. And the third integer will be x plus 2. If this were 5, then x plus 1 was 5 plus 1 or 6, and 5 plus 2 is 7. We have 5, 6, 7. Of course, as we saw, 5, 6, and 7 don't add up to 45. But since we are making that a condition of these consecutive integers, we can replace these commas here with plus signs. We're saying that the sum of those integers, in other words, x plus 1 plus x plus 2 equals 45. And now I think we've actually translated all the conditions of the problem into a mathematical expression on the left, and we've set it equal to 45. So we've actually got an equation. Now we can combine x's here. We have 3 of them. When you have 3 apples, it's the same as having 3 x's in a sense. You have 3 times x. Plus 1 here, plus 2, and that equals 45. Now let's combine 1 and 2. We have 3x plus 3 equals 45. And now, what are we doing to x on this side? Let's see. First thing we're doing is we're multiplying by 3, and then we're adding 3 again. So if we're going to reverse those operations, remember the way we solve equations is reversing the operations that we're applying to our variable in the right order, and doing the exact same set of operations on the other side. And that will give us a solution. So in this case, we want to subtract 3 to isolate the term involving x. we get 3x equals, and then 45 minus 3 is 42. I'm going to go over here. 3x equals 42. So I'll reproduce that so we can see it. Well, now what we're doing is we're multiplying x by 3. So to reverse that operation and get x by itself, we divide by 3. But we have to divide by 3 on the other side too. And of course the 3's cancel on the left here, and we have x equals 42 divided by 3. 42 divided by 3 is 14. So our first consecutive integer is 14. So our second one, we're making the claim that our second one must be 15. And our third one, therefore, is 16. And the question is, do these, in fact, add up to 45? Well, 4 plus 5 plus 6 is 15. And 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So yep, they sure do. We found the 3 consecutive integers that sum to 45.